scorching afternoon here in Nairobi's Deep Sea area. At the heart of this community is a selfless social project led by Clifford Oluoch. Together with his team, they are changing the lives of young people in this community. Tell me a little bit about Shule Mtaani. That's the name of this specific project you have here. Tell me a little bit about it. Take me back to when it started.
Okay. So Shule Mtaani is an offshoot of Homeless of Nairobi, which is a bigger umbrella body that actually rescues, feeds, reintegrates, rehabilitates street boys. So we have got many projects under Homeless of Nairobi. And Shule Mtaani came off, should I say, when we wanted to take back the street boys to school. Right, which is happening. But there are those who school does not favor. For example, someone now has been on the streets for 10 years, dropped out of standard 2. Now he's maybe 18 years old. So where does he go back to?
Right.
Does he go back to standard 2? Or where exactly? So formal schooling does not really favor them, right? So we tried formal schooling and it was just a flop. And because of that, we had to come up with a customized program for them.
Why this specific region? Why not Kibera, Kangware? Why this region?
This is a model. Yes, we want to work on, actually we're working on a model, and there are two areas. There's here and there's Mlango Kubwa in Pangani. But theirs is once a week. We started the same once a week, but we realized that in the course of the week, by the time you're meeting again on Saturday, the kids have forgotten quite a lot. There's no continuity, no kind of, and then it was just basically like some would be absent. So it was very irregular. So this year we made the concerted effort and say that, no, it's going to be a daily program. So it's every single day for them.
Okay.
Yes. And that's why once we are a success story in this particular region, then we'll just copy paste it in other places.
How long has it been running here for?
1.5 years now. We started last year, early last year, January last year. So 1 year, 2 months.
Okay. Take me through what you're calling the day-to-day program.
Okay.
Yes. So the kids come here, they gather here?
Any street boy is actually welcome. Street boys is welcome to sleep here. But you have to be clean, you have to be presentable, and we have to have a background check on you, right? So once they sleep here, then in the morning at 8 o'clock they wake up. There are things that, apart from being clean, you have to strive to shower every single day. So they wake up and then they go and do their hustle. Because, I mean, we can't take them out of their normal job routine. So they'll go for their hustling, which is basically carrying water, begging, and transporting things from the market to here, whatever kind of thing. But at 1 o'clock, or should I say around 1:30, we'll serve lunch. But the condition is that if you eat lunch, you have to stay for the lessons.
Right.
You're not going to eat, you're not going to stay for the lessons, please don't. So you've had issues of a few people coming, having lunch and then disappearing. Of course, the following day you tell them, okay, now this is not the way we operate. Yeah. So they come, they have lunch, right? Then at around 2:30 or 3 o'clock, then we start our lessons from 2 hours, 3 to 5. Yes.
The end goal, is it that when they're done with us, you'd want them to sit for the exams as other students, or it's just for them to get extra knowledge in life?
There are 3 aspects. We've divided them into 3 groups. We have the beginners, people who have never been exposed to school, so they don't know how to read and write. So the end goal of them is just to know how to read and write. Because if I have a 30-year-old person who doesn't know how to read and write, I'm not going to subject them to an exam.
Right.
You know,
it's unfair.
Yes. So just learn how to read. I mean, one of the interesting cases is this 30-year-old guy who's got a family, and he's learning to read, and his 3-year-old boy is also learning to read at a nursery school. So he's trying to be ahead of his son, because he has I stuck him to Tongo Nishinda. He doesn't want his son to. So we have the basics, like people who have never been exposed to any formal education. And then we have the intermediate, you know, kind of people who have dropped out of school. So they've got an idea here and there, right? So then the end product is, the third group is actually the examinable type. The ones who we want to register privately for KCP and KCSE. So you have these fellows who dropped out of class 6, class 7. So they're very near, too near yet to be fun. Yeah. But they don't want to go back to school, because they've been out of school for 3-4 years, and it's like, they're a bit used to the freedom, and we respect that. So we tell them, okay, fine, so what we'll do is that we'll offer you formal lessons here in an informal way, you know, kind of, and then register you privately for exams. But next year, this year, we want them at least to get into.
How did the children receive it the first time? Were they receptive? Because you said some would come, have lunch, and then disappear. So talk to me about that. How did they receive the program?
The biggest challenge even for homeless in Nairobi, all our programs has been structures.
Structures.
The guys are not used to structure. They're very haphazard. They are freedom. They're used to their timing. They come and someone will come at 4 o'clock and ask for food. They're not used to structures. So one of the biggest fights we've had is actually structures, because in his mind, I'm hungry. So let me go and eat. Once I've eaten, I've satisfied my need. So let me go back to my
hustle.
My other hustle. Not realizing that no, there's a structure over here for you to have this. You must have this. You must have this. Whatever kind of thing. So they're struggling with the structures, but finally they've gotten to it. Some of the boys had to come and convince them and tell them, listen, just come and sleep here, right? It's a safe space. Then the guy says, no, but you'll ask me to be clean and presentable. He says, yes, it's for your own good. Yeah. So there's that bit struggle and that transition from just being free, wild, and doing anything to actually having some structures in place.
How do you fund this project? How do you fund about getting food for the children, material, desks, and chairs? How do you fund it?
Thank God you came at the right time when a well-wisher was bringing in food.
Wow.
Yes, we survive on well-wishers. Okay. We've made applications everywhere, including the government programs for street fund and whatever. But should I say the processes are actually very, very tedious, and of course there are so many other groups that are doing the same. So it's not obvious that you're the one who's going to make it. So meanwhile, as we wait for the big breakthrough and the big donation, we survive very much on little donations from many people.
Why is this something so close to your heart? Why do you choose this out of perhaps any other philanthropic or charity work you could have possibly done? Why this?
Well, to me, there are two aspects of it. One is that education is at the center of my heart, because I'm a teacher, right? And I'm a teacher, I'm a head teacher at an international school. So we have got this group of kids who are privileged, right? And each time I drive and someone comes and asks me for money and whatever food, my first question is that, do you go to school, right? Invariably the answer is no. So if you're not going to school, then what do you think about it, right? And of course the guy has no answer, but it bothers me that you have all these people who are not going to school and they're just all over and whatever kind of thing. So it's like, okay, I'm very solution driven. So it's like, can I get a solution? Can I get a solution? And hence, it's like, this is part of that solution of trying to bring education to the street guys in their environment. Because you take them to a state-of-the-art school, they'll feel out of place.
Right.
So this is their natural environment. So it's for me to bring teachers to them, right? Like the ones who kept on running away from school. I tell them, oh, okay, so you guys will run away from school? Okay, I'll bring the school to you. You want to go to school? Let me bring the school to you.
Education seems to be something close to your heart. Now that you said you are a head teacher, and that's why you even went ahead with this charity work that you're doing, then my next question would be, there's this saying that education is the key to life. Does that same principle apply to the street children here? Do they truly believe that education is my key way, is my key out of this place and into a better life?
Education is the key to life is, I think, it's a cliche. It's something that I've been overtaken by parents. To me, it's more of education is a key to empowerment. Right? So it could be mental empowerment, because the guy who does not know how to read, the moment he knows how to read, it's that aha moment of, wow, this is what I've been missing. Right? And the fact that I can sign my name and write, that's empowerment. Once they're empowered, then it's up to them now to use it. And now what we've tried to do is not only education, the volunteers who've been coming have been inspirational to the kids. And to me, that human connection has got nothing to do with education. Right? Education is just a conduit for that human connection. The whole point is to raise their self-esteem, to make them feel that they live a dignified life, and to make them know that, listen, whatever we've started, is actually a lifelong journey. They will come back and they'll continue once I've left, right? It's something that will keep on moving from one place to another. So to us, education is just a tool that we're using to get to them and just to empower them. Should I say the key to mental empowerment? Yes.
So Cliff, tell me what or who inspires you? Because for you to be a teacher and to say, let me take out my time of the day to come into such a place and decide to have a positive impact, why? What motivates you? Because I'm sure you're not winning like a lottery ticket for being kind. Yeah.
Well, that's a very standard question, and I always tell people, why not? Yeah. Why not? because everyone is used to doing things for a reason. Everyone is looking for the big thing, kind of. Why not just do something good for the sake of it being good? So for me, dealing with the underprivileged is something that I've done ever since I was a kid. Not on a bigger scale, as big scale, but this is the biggest that I have, because each time it kept on growing bigger and bigger, kind of. So I feed you for once a week. What about the rest of the week? So it's like, no, let me feed you on a daily basis. You need food, kind of. Let me get you to school. Let me pay your fees, right? So my question.
And this started when you were younger, when you were small. Is this something your parents instilled in you?
No, actually more than the school that I went to. And the church, kind of, because there's a very close connection. So we used to do a lot of charity with my church and other school.
Okay.
So I grew up doing a lot of charity and with underprivileged areas and whatever kind of thing. So by the time I was in college and everything, it was actually part and parcel of my...
Do you think Kenyans are sensitive about their environment and wanting to help? Do you feel as if Kenyans are philanthropic enough to say they also want to go out and do something small for their community?
The answer is yes. It's just that the opportunity is not there. No one gives them that, should I say, opportunity and space to do it, right? So they keep on looking, because each time we put up a post on social media, the response is overwhelming. Guys, the people want to help. It's only that they don't know who is genuinely responsible.
Right.
I have so many strangers, very many strangers, who don't know me. And they send money, they send food, right? And they just say, okay, just to help you out. But they've never met. So there are many people who want to help. All that we need is actually a structure and just to tell our stories. We're not telling the stories enough. So people are like, oh, you mean this happened? Oh, you mean this happened? Kind of, people are not telling those stories.
So here you are, you're a common citizen doing extraordinary work with a group of team, definitely. Do you feel as if the government is doing enough to help the people in this community and even outside of this community, so we can move from a serikali nisaidie nation to I can be independent enough, to take my children to school and provide food?
We are the government.
We are the government.
There's no... Uhuru Kenyatta is not the government, Raila is not the government. We are the government. Everyone is the government. So this is part of my, should I say, civic duties, to do something that calls me the government. This is my vote to my community. This is my contribution to my government. So everyone has to ask themselves, where is your vote, where is your contribution, right? And when you define where you're supposed to be, then you go ahead and your contribution. So in terms of the government allocating monies and whatever kind of thing and accessing to the money, there's a lot of bureaucracy. That's how the government, they operate, the bureaucracy. They're doing their bit, whatever they can do, what are we doing? I can't sit back and say the government. Let me go back and join others.
One of the things that perhaps, and you've already echoed it right here, Kenyans feel like as much as they would want to help, they don't know the fake from the real. So how are you able to tell that this is a genuine case, we would love to step in? How would you also advise other Kenyans outside there who perhaps would want to be philanthropic enough, and not just in this scenario, in anything else, but they don't know, is this case genuine? How do you go about it?
I encourage everyone to come and visit. I tell them this is where your money is going. Right? Come and see where your money is going. Come and see where your efforts are going. I encourage them. Some of them just want to remain anonymous, and they don't want to be known and whatever kind of thing. And of course, we're going to be banned. There's no way you're not going to be banned. So the thing is that you try, if it works, well and good. If it does not work, you don't try that again. You try and have something else different.
Cliff, what's the most difficult part about charity work?
Emotional attachment.
Oh.
Because you get emotionally attached to the project, to the people, to the volunteers. You get so attached to them that if something happens, you feel as if it's your second family and you've known them all your life. And you've had cases of rehab and relapse. You've had cases of people passing away. It hits because you invested so much emotionally. But when something happens, you feel as if you've lost a part of you. That I struggle with.
That you struggle with?
Yes, that I struggle a lot with.
Well, you get to spend a lot of time with the kids. So you get to talk to them, you get to hear their dreams, you get to hear their fears. For them, do they feel as if that there's an opportunity for them outside of this?
Let me just be honest and say that of late we've had a huge team of volunteers and young university students who have injected some life because they can see actually, other people are interested in us, other people are here on a daily basis and are taking much more interest. So they're starting to see the bigger picture, And then we tend to expose them quite a lot. We go out a lot. We, museum, arboretum, to go to children's home, elderly's home. So we take them out so that they can see how the world is outside there. And they can see, there's another life beyond that. So that's it.
What's their biggest fears? And I'll still ask them that, but from outside looking inside, what do you mostly hear from them?
It's tricky because they live one day at a time. That's the biggest problem. So to them, today is today, right? Your fear might be your rent will be increased, your car will be pounded and whatever. Things which are future social kind of needs. To them, it's today. So if I owe someone some money, my fear is that guy will maybe get some tags and club. My fear today is maybe I won't get food, I won't get a place to sleep. The fears are on a daily basis. So it's very difficult to say that what their fear is today will be the same as tomorrow. Maybe you'll ask them and they'll tell you.
What do you occupy the most about life?
Life. Life kutuwewe kuwa na challenge sana. Ukikosa vitu za kutumia kama basic things, unajua. Ukikosa kukula utajaribu mara utapata kukula. Sasa hizi vitu zo kuforce hadi unaingilia wizi. Uongo zingine za makata tunazitanga makata.
Makata.
Upate kitu unaona.
Sikupenda kwako.
Ukiwa poa, huwezi fanya vitu zingine.
Kwa unaona kama serikali inasaidia mavijana?
Inasaidia, yes, na si wote, unajua.
Si wote, si ndio?
Unajua hizi chain of command zozo. Ukituma utuletee na unapelekea wengine. Ama pengine unakosa kupelekea. No, sasa mwenye alikutuma anajua ulileta. Shika.
Hii song yako mpya inaongea kuhusu nini? Sijaiona.
Hiyo ni salamu. Alafu hiyo salamu bado kuna vile tunani wasi wa street. Wachana na hizo Madrid, tuanze life nyingine. Bado kalenda zinasonga. Hatu uko pale tulikuwa. Nataka tukue na future tomorrow. Tukue poa.
Lakini kubadilisha maisha kwanza, maisha mengine fresh. Sina kuanga tough sana.
Ni hati lakini ukijaribu hakuna kitu kinawezekana.
Si ndio? What's your biggest fear in life? Ile kitu unaogopa.
Ninaogopa. Ninaogopa ni kurudi hizo vitu tena. Hizo vitu zinafanya vipi mtu anaridhika. Sasa hiyo ndio tunaogopa.
So leo sasa ungeadvise mtu ana watch program na tuseme ako huko nje. Nataka kubadilisha maisha yake kaa wewe. Ungemadvise aje?
Nitamwambia waje hizi vitu si lazima upeleke yao. Ikitu kwa hiyo unaachana na wewe mwenyewe tu kujitolea. Ndio kupeleka riabu hapo ni kama umelazimishwa. Ndio utapeleka riabu kwa umerudi fiti kwa kuachilia. Sasa tena unaona ukienda kutana na mabeste, sasa utarudia tena hizo vitu. Sasa hizi vitu kwa aje mtu unajitolea tu wewe mwenyewe.
Unaona kama gavana isaidia mayouth wa mtaa. Mavijana
kuna vijana wanasaidia lakini siwezi sema kama hiyo waje nini hujasaidia. Gavana Kenya anasaidia wa vijana kwa hospitali labda kuwashika. Hiyo unaona hujasaidia. Bado mtu anajaa mtoni wanamkumba bure. Sasa mimi naweza Kenya naona yenyewe video anasaidia sana.
Perhaps as we are closing up the conversation, what's your end goal with this project? How big do you want it? What's your vision for it? And truly, there's no reward that you can be given for what you're doing.
Joy that I live here with keeps me going for the next. couple of days and whatever kind of thing, and each time it's like I'm just feeding into my, I call it recharging, I'm just recharging and recharging. And when you see the guys who are into drugs, going to rehab, right, and are rehabilitated and come back, you talk to some of the former street guys, and they tell you, I'm seeing and working with them. This is not joke. That to me is a reward.
Wow.
It's like, yes, this is what I set out to do. This is what I'm doing. The rest of physical material rewards.
How has this program helped you? Aje? Kwanza unattending it classes kila siku?
Mimi ni mmoja, mimi wafunza hadi kwa basic.
Serious? So, English, Maths, Swahili, zote? Uliniambia?
Tunasoma mpaka French.
French? Nani anafundisha French?
Tunachita French hapo. Unataka kusoma French? Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Niko sawa? Hapo Hapa sijui.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? Inamaanisha?
Je m'appelle Vela.
Je m'appelle Zinzi. J'ai habité Nairobi. Hapo ndio French yangu inaisha. So niambie, na uko na music bado?
Mimi msanii.
So you make music na unafundisha hapa? Mbona?
In fact mimi nimesaidiwa. So ukisaidia mmoja, pia wasaidia mwingine, asaidie mwingine.
Si ndio?
Sasa nikaona wale ni watu wake bado. Mimi ni writer, mimi naandika muziki, poem.
Hizo zote. Nini na kuinspire?
Kani inspire ni kila mtu akue anaweza jistand ya own. Unaona life ya street ni hard sana. Alafu hao ni mabro. Ni watu kama tu wao. Sasa ukipata msee amechange hadi uona nice, hadi jajaria na kupiga max.
Wewe dream yako ni nini?
Dream yangu ni kuwa msee. Msee anasaidia msee mwingine kufuta, ni kuwa na futa poa. Na pia wase tumekuwa nao kwa street wakiwa na futa poa.
Na unaona feature yako kwa music? Kwa music?
Iko.
Unafanya gospel ama?
Mimi ni mgenge, mimi ni msaifa, poetry zote.
Poetry.
Spoken word hapo.
What are your biggest fears? Shule mtaani, umekusaidiaje?
Nimefanya nimetoka kwa street, nilikuwa natumia mamito mingi.
Ulikuwa street?
Nilikuwa na mtagamu, nilikuwa kama mchafu. Sasa kuanzia nikutane na walijo Clifford. Sasa ndo akanisaidia nikatoka street. Sasa mama sikizi na badilika.
Na vile unakaa smart.
At least haina naona rafiki yangu yenyewe imechini. Bado imenipeleka college, different college of technology. Sana nijifunza mechanic.
Mechanic. Ulikuwa how long were you at Street Child kabla Cliff akulete ndani?
Nilipo mko 7. Sasa tukapatana na Cliff grade 14.
07. Mbona? What happened at home?
Si shida tu ya nini? Wewe siku moja unajua kuwa na watu. Sasa shida tu ya chakula ilifanya
Oh, okay. So what for you? What's your dream?
Dream yangu ni kupata job poa. Naweza kwenda nifungue center, nifanye kitu yenye hata audio nafanya.
Kama hii.
Sasa yenyewe watu wenye kwa street. Hiyo life yenyewe unajua si poa.
Sasa vile ulitoka from a street child kukua hapa, hiyo transition, hiyo kubadilisha maisha ilikuwa ngumu?
Nitoka huko. Ilikuwa ngumu kubadilika, ndio nimepelekwa dini yao kama 2 nikitoroka. Sasa nikajitolea na mimi mwenyewe, nikaona hii kitu inanifanya hata life yangu nitakufia tu street. Siri tu ni change, nikajitolea nikachange.
What's your advice to the common Kenyan and not just our politicians? No. You've begun by saying we are our own solution to our own problems. So we need to move from serikali nisaidie. So what's your advice to the common mwananchi?
Allow me to quote a key data. Say that let's make a difference, however small. Even it means picking on from the road so that the next person who comes is not picked by that pond. So we have to find out where we can make a difference, however small. If it means that you're going to give your watchman lunch every day or supper or whatever kind of thing, then do it from there. If it means giving your house girl something, then do it from there. Let's start from our immediate environment. Let's not look for the big things. Once the small things are sorted out, invariably the ripple effect will reach the churches, will reach the schools, and we'll just be like more of a caring nation from our own immediate environment, not from fun.
Wow.
So start small and then grow it to be big.
And we can be a caring nation.
Yes.
That's a perfect note to leave it at.
Yes.
Cliff, thank you so much. Thank you for being an inspiration to this community and to Kenyans in general, and for what you're doing. I think it's very selfless. So thank you again.